We're here today to talk about rap music and violence. Everyone may not be a victim, but everyone is affected by violence. We see violence in our schools, our families, and our jobs. No one is exempt. It is all around us. We read it in the newspapers, we watch it on television, and we even hear it in certain music that we listen to. Rap music has gotten negative attention for many years because of its explicit language, degradation of women, and racism. Americans should focus on educating and parenting their children instead of looking for somewhere to place this blame. Many people believe that rap and hip-hop music glorifies criminal behavior and promotes violence among our youth. But the violence depicted in rap music is no different than the violence that we watch in our movies or the cowboy movies that I watched during my generation. Hip Hop Network defines rap as talking in rhyme to a rhythm. Hip-hop is a culture, a way of life for a society of people that love and can identify with this music. Rap music began as a contemporary ability of a particular DJ was playing records at a hip-hop event back in the late 60s. Although its content has changed over the past 40 years, mostly due to the freedom of speech, rap has remained deeply rooted in the African American community. Most rappers intend to stay true to their roots, so they apply the rap to the life within the housing projects and ghettos that they grew up in, even if this message is about crime, drugs, or gang activity. Rap is how the black community share their story and is a very significant part of their culture. For many black youths, it's a way to vent frustration. Have a reference about these topics in rap and hip-hop music led to more violence? Exposure to violence and offensive lyrics in rap music has been associated with the increase in violence among its listeners. But the relationship between the two is poorly understood. Rappers share stories of poverty, homelessness, unemployment, and abuse in their music, which is an everyday reality for them. But in no way does it promote violence. It is a way of life. Rap music only talks about violence. It does not create violence. And it should not be perceived as a threat. If rap music appears to be excessively violent when compared to country, western, or pop rock, it is because rap stems from a culture that has been steeped in the fight against political, social, and economic oppression. Not everyone understands rap, and there are many misconceptions about rappers, which makes it easy for people to criticize and condemn their music. Does racism play a role? Society condemns the message of the rap brings because white America simply cannot relate to things such as poverty, discrimination, and oppression that African Americans deal with everyday life while living in the hood. And let's not forget the role commercial media play with its frequent biased opinions who try to shape America's views on many controversial topics. There are many other factors that play a role in juvenile violence. Inborn temperament, early parent abuse, neglect, poverty, cognitive impairment, plus a deficiency of corrective influences or role models in various combinations would put a child at great risk. So rap music cannot be singled out and blamed to be the cause of violence among our youth. In a study by Denise Hurd over the period from 1979 to 1989, the level of violence mentioned in top rap songs were moderate and relative stable. During the initial years in which these songs were released, 27% of them contained violence. From 1985 to 1989, the average percent songs containing references to violence increased to 32%. Beginning in 1999, however, the proportion of songs increased dramatically. As a result, more than 50% of the most popular rap songs released from 1990 to 1993 mentioned some form of violence. The violent crime rate rose substantially from the 1980s through the 1990s. After the early 1990s, however, violent crime fell substantially. This study also noted that from 1993 to 2001, violent crime declined 54%, although rap music remained very high from 1997 and beyond. It appears that the time rap music has reached its highest percentage of violent references, crime has decreased, thus proving no link between the two. It would be impossible to prove without a doubt that rap music promotes violence. Movies are a different form of entertainment, but bring the same message of violence. Western movies, which were popular in the 60s and 70s, were mostly about cowboys having shootouts, bar fights, killing Indians, and the occasional romp upstairs with a saloon girl. This is no different than rap music of today, talking about guns, killing, or prostitution. No one ever concerned that the Western movies were affecting the youth in a negative way. The American public associates the myth of the West to the American pride, seen in the violence in the movies as a sign of valor. Actors such as Clint Eastwood, John Ford, and Gary Cooper are famous for shooting Indians, and no one would think of condemning them for their violent scenes. And let's not forget John Wayne, great American icon, but he was always known for fighting, shooting Indians. It is obvious that young people have the same type of exposure to violence in both Western movies and rap, but no one ever claimed that Western movies were promoting violence. Is it because Western movies are accepted as a part of our American culture? Or is it because music has more influence on young people than movies do? Society reacts to rap themes with fury and condemnation. However, the plot and devices in the Western movies are no less violent or profane. What is the real reason that rap music gets such a bad rap? Is it simply because white America cannot relate or identify with the daily living conditions in which these rappers live and need to place the blame for this violence? Rap music has been singled out and considered to be a threat to society, while the same violent themes in Western movies has never been condemned for promoting violent behavior. Violence is the same no matter how it is presented and should be considered as such. Rap music cannot be blamed for the decisions that our young people make. This is why parents should talk to their teens about rap music and offer explanations to give them a better perspective of the world that is a reality for most rappers. Rappers usually live in an American ghetto, which is characteristic of poverty, violence, and crime. Most teenagers know that we live in an unfair and unjust world, and it is the parents' responsibility to provide this guidance. The claim that violent language causes violent behavior is inconclusive. These artists are merely telling a story, just as a newscaster would report the news, so to blame them for social violence is unfair. And to say rap music promotes violence is an unfair and an unjust statement.